So, who's happy about this? What's new, Dino Dudes? It's me, the Media Raptor, and welcome back to episode 2. Or is this 3? No, this is 2. This is 2. Of Raptor's Kombat Korner. Sorry, I came up with that name as I was editing the first episode, so I completely forgot about adding it aside from that little intro. Yeah, we're back, and we're talking about the second character that's been revealed. Technically, yes, I know there was a third one revealed a couple days ago, but I haven't got to that yet. Jade. Now, when I started playing MK9, I didn't really play Jade or Katana all that much because they didn't really seem like the kind of characters I wanted to play as. And then when she wasn't in MKX, I was kind of like, okay, cool, sure. Then I really started hearing just a massive amount of people crying out where is she, why isn't she in the game, and all this and all that. And I began to question, is she really that popular? Is she some sort of fan favorite character that I just never got around to trying and missed out on something awesome? Yeah, pretty much. Went back and played a little bit of MK9 and she was a lot better than I expected. She's got a very unique fighting style, which they seem to have massively updated all for the better in MK11. And yeah, let's talk about her. So remember in the last episode when I called Cabal a bruiser as somebody who likes to get up close and personal but also isn't the best with range? He's not much of a controller, he's more of a fighter? Excuse me. Jade, I'm gonna go with what people tend to call is a zoner. Utilizing her staff and her glaives, she tends to try and attack from somewhat of a distance, not trying to stay up close and personal, but she can get up close, but she prefers to use her staff to, hit from a bit of a distance with overhead strikes, underhand uppercuts, and spinning combos that let her move closer and make her harder to hit because there isn't much of a window to, attack unless you have a counter. This provides an interesting playstyle as it can lead to a far more strategic form of fighting rather than just run and button mash everything, as it seems to me at least like she would be much more focused on being able to utilize combos rather than just going with your controller and hoping you win. Because to be honest, let's admit it, we've all done that at least once in a fighting game. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's how most of us started playing fighting games, was just randomly mashing buttons and then going, wait, how did I do that? How do I do that again? I have no idea what's going on. Anyhow, I'm interested to see more of her as the game goes on, considering the fact that they did say in the most recent combat cast that they actually updated the meter burn system so it goes much more back to how it used to be, which I am so thankful about. Hadn't really talked about it because I didn't know what to say about it, but I'll say this, I didn't like how it was looking and I'm really happy with how they've changed it. Anyhow, let's talk about Jade herself. Most notably, she loses a lot of her just hand and kick strikes that she seemed to have in MK9, preferring to now, like I said, hit with her staff. That's both a bit of an issue and not an issue at the same time. Like I said, it can be great for keeping your opponent back. If you can keep them in a corner, then use several special attacks and combos, you could potentially just keep them trapped there. If you manage to move fast enough, they wouldn't be able to get out. But she is the first character I kind of had to go, I could kind of see an issue with this. Not only does she seem to have a bit too much reach, now I know this is an early build, this might be changed. Just from what I've seen, she seems to have a little bit too much strength for the amount of range she has. I can just hear all the Jade fans screaming at me, but more importantly, she doesn't seem to have many attacks that are just straight up punching or kicking. At least not that I was shown. Now, looking through the gameplay videos, yes, she does have some basic hits and just some low pokes and stuff like that, but like they said, she tends to mostly use her staff, which can lead to a bit of an issue that, say you're both in a corner and you're the one in the corner, not the opponent, being able to pull your staff out and use it in a special attack could be a bit tricky as you need to find a way to ultimately, you guys know what I'm saying, right? To be able to, namely keep your opponent off you. However, they do seem to give her a couple attacks that could be helpful, mostly utilizing her glaives, which I do think is nice, and I do like the look of them. In fact, I love her design. Even so much, I know people have said this, but the Revenant skin has actual glowing on it like a jade stone would. That is the kind of detail I love. But yeah, her special moves all look pretty much like what you'd expect for this character in Mortal Kombat 11. Staff smashes, attacks, glaive attacks, and most importantly, her shadow-ish kick. Even teleporting, which I think is pretty darn cool. From what I could tell, she did have a counter. She even has this weird special attack that essentially makes her immortal, sort of, like projectiles just tend to pass through her. I don't remember exactly if she can counter, but I believe she can. I'll have to check that. And once again, there's a lot of people who seem to be complaining that, oh, this character isn't in the game, or oh, this character isn't in the game. Do you people realize how hard this stuff must be to animate all this? Like, look at her staff, like, spinning attacks. Do you know how much time and effort probably went into making that? I'm not trying to say this, but I'm also kind of meaning to say this. We're not owed any of this, but they're giving it to us because they care. I'm the kind of guy who's just happy with what we've got because it looks awesome. The only genuine dislike I have with Jade is her fatal blow. Compared to all the other ones we've seen so far, this is gonna kind of sound wrong. It seems almost tame in a way. Like, just, you know, she stabs them a couple times, like she runs up, she does like some quick attacks. Yeah, like she stabs them and cuts their back and stuff like that. But even Scarlet tended to use the stabbing and stuff for a much more brutal sort of attack by literally creating a scythe out of blood. Now granted, her fatality does seem to make up for that, as I do really enjoy it. But yeah, who knows? We'll find out more as the game is revealed more, and when the beta eventually comes out in March. And yeah, I think I'm starting to like Jade a lot more, and I will tell you this, I was very happy to see what they did with Johnny Cage. But if you want to know my thoughts on him, well, you're going to have to like and subscribe to the video so you can come back soon in the next few days when the third episode of Raptor's Kombat Korner gets released. Until then, Dino Dudes, this has been the Media Raptor saying keep cool, and I'll see you guys around. Later.
Fatality. Jade wins.